In 1909, a man told the world the exact year he would die. Nobody believed him. 1 year later, he was right, and he wasn't the only person in history who saw their own death coming. Some dreamed it, some predicted it, some calmly announced it to friends and family, then died exactly when they said they would. Coincidence? Luck? The power of intuition? Or evidence that the human mind sometimes notices something science still doesn't fully understand? Throughout history, there have been documented cases of people predicting their own deaths with unsettling accuracy. And the more you look into them, the stranger they become. Let's start with one of the most famous examples, a man who practically announced his own death decades before it happened. His name was Mark Twain, one of America's greatest writers, the creator of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn, a literary legend. But what most people don't know is that Twain made one of history's most chilling predictions. He was born in 1835, the same year Halley's Comet appeared in the sky. The comet only returns to Earth roughly every 75 to 76 years. In 1909, as the comet's return approached, Twain said, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it." Most people treated it as a joke. Then came April 1910. Halley's Comet returned. And on April 21st, 1910, Mark Twain died, almost exactly as he predicted. But Twain's story becomes even stranger when you realize he wasn't alone. One of the most fascinating examples involves President Abraham Lincoln. In 1865, just days before his assassination, Lincoln shared a disturbing dream. Lincoln dreamed he was wandering through the White House. Everything was quiet. Then he heard crying. He followed the sound. Eventually, he entered a room where a corpse lay surrounded by mourners. When Lincoln asked who had died, someone answered, "The President." Days later, on April 14, 1865, Lincoln was shot at Ford's Theater. He died the next morning. Then there's the case of Arnold Schoenberg, a world-famous composer terrified of one number, 13. In 1951, he was 76. 7 plus 6 equals 13. Schoenberg became convinced he would die during his 76th year. Shortly before midnight on Friday the 13th, he died, 13 minutes before the next day began. Doctors and psychologists have observed this phenomenon often enough that it has a name: death awareness. The idea that certain people may unconsciously recognize physical changes occurring within their bodies before they become consciously apparent. Hospice workers and doctors have reported countless stories of patients who somehow knew they were nearing the end. Patients suddenly saying goodbye, giving away possessions, making peace with old conflicts, then dying exactly when they expected. Throughout history, countless people have reported dreaming about their own deaths before they occurred. One famous example comes from the Titanic. Several individuals reportedly experienced dreams or premonitions involving maritime disasters. Can people sense their own fate, or do we only connect the dots after tragedy occurs? That's the central mystery. Our brains are prediction machines. Every second, they're processing information below conscious awareness. Tiny clues, subtle patterns. Perhaps what appears supernatural is actually a form of intuition operating beneath conscious thought. Mark Twain, Abraham Lincoln, Arnold Schoenberg. Different people, different centuries, yet connected by the same eerie thread. The feeling that the end was approaching. Maybe that's why these stories endure. They remind us how much remains unexplained. Were these predictions coincidence, science, intuition, or an awareness we haven't learned how to measure? The truth is, nobody knows.